So, as always, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Monday morning Go Down and Focus call. I'd like to welcome all of our team members from across North America. I do believe we have a couple people from Europe, at least one from Sweden. Welcome to you. By the way, look forward to seeing you. Here are the dates. Speaking of Europe, I will be arriving in Stockholm on the 7th. We have an event on the 8th in Stockholm. Then we have an event on the 9th in Helsinki. And at the very same time, on the 9th, there's another event in Oslo, Norway, with corporate. And then I head to Norway on the 10th March, not February, March. I head over to to Norway on the 10th, and there on the 10th, 11th, and 12th. And then the plan is, although not confirmed, to be in Romania on the 13th and 14th of March. Just to give everybody a heads up in case you have people starting to develop in those areas, that is confirmed. Everything confirmed except for the Romanian dates, although they look good. While at the same time, there are a number of other events taking place this side of the world, in a number of different locations, with a number of different groups. So, lots going on in DJ World. So, always get to start off with events and what's taking place. I had an event here at my house last night, during the Super Bowl. How about that? Some people were watching football. I was doing a PVR. And so we had a bunch of people here, and we are building from that event last night to a event here in Toronto on the 15th of February, so a couple weeks from now. And on that note, I wanted to just focus back in on the main thing as it relates to success in our business. I'll try and not make it repetitive, although some of it is repetitive, but try to put it in a different context. The main thing being, of course, mastering the skill of recruiting, and then teaching others to do exactly the same. So sponsoring new people, and then working with others so that they can sponsor new people. That is the name of the game in our business, period. There is nothing else. Everything else that we do, events, personal development, or any other form of training, are all centered around getting better at sponsoring people, getting better at teaching people how to sponsor. And so everything comes back to center. Our entire industry, our entire business, any success that we're going to enjoy is going to be predicated on our ability to sponsor people, to recruit others, to enroll others, to get others to see the vision. To inspire others and so forth. That's our business. That's what we do. And so he or she that captures that and masters it ultimately will move themselves into a position of leadership, a position of success. I'm going to assume that all of us are on the line today for the same reason. More so than this just being a social gathering of some associates. We're here to pick up some ideas, some things that can help us in our business. grow, to become bigger, build bigger. And so if we've taken the time to be here, and let's face it, we've all got things to do. There's other things that we could be doing than be on a 9 o'clock call every day, or whichever days that we get on these calls. If we've taken the time to be here, then it makes sense to make sure that we get some value out of this call, or out of calls like this. And so I would say that, you know, when an idea is being conveyed, take note, put it down, capture it, put it into action, actually do something with it, as opposed to just listen to it, hear it, and then go back to the default position that, you know, some of us might be in. I certainly have a whole bunch of default positions that I easily fall into unless I make a conscious effort to otherwise. So let's not get back into a default position. Most people, as we all know, operate pretty well in a variety of default positions their entire life. I did a post yesterday on Facebook which kind of captures that idea that each and every one of us, you and I, all of us, were born to win. I mean, we were born to create, born to win, born to learn, born to expand, born to grow. And then, of course, things happen in life, all sorts of things. It could be anything, right? Look at Philip Seymour Hoffman yesterday. Died of an overdose, right? At age 46. Brilliant guy, great actor, capable of any and everything. Did amazing things. People had nothing but good things to say about him. Nothing but good things. Only good. But he had his challenges. Everybody's got them. I've got them too. Lots of them. So it doesn't really matter. We were all born to win, but life challenges, disappointments, setbacks, and everything else that comes our way program us to fail. We're born to win, but programmed to fail. The winners, people who break through and get ahead, those of us that excel anyways, overcome anyways, sooner or later realize that every single setback, every single challenge, every single disappointment, every hardship, no matter what the challenge is, are actually the fertilizers that set us up to realize success. Right? Success actually comes from the challenges and the hardships and the difficulties, as opposed to the success itself. We don't actually become successful because things go right. We become successful because things go wrong. And so each and every one of the hurdles along the way in building our business, as an example. So in the context of CJ International, in the context of network marketing, each and every one of our disappointments and difficulties along the way are the moments where we grow and rise to a new level of success, a new level of leadership. This is where it all comes from. And so when you look at the best seasoned leaders, the most effective people in our business, you can probably assume that these people have gone through some very difficult times at a variety of points in their business career, in their life, and other areas. And those were the times where our character was shaped, the disciplines trading ability, the ability to share stories, tell stories, and so forth. The ability to move others because they can relate to those challenges. Those were the times where these moments were shaped. So I can tell you from personal experience that getting back to the main thing, the ability to sponsor others into our business and then move those people into growth so that they too are sponsoring and teaching others. Because in the end, if we're going to be successful in this business, you're going to have to master that skill. All of us are going to have to absolutely master that skill. There's no way we can go to the top. There is no way we can become successful in this business without learning that skill. It can't be done. And for us, we ultimately have to build it ourselves. We can only build it by ultimately learning how to bring new people into the business, and more importantly, once we've brought them in, teach them how to bring other people. That's the only way to go to the top. That's the only way to grow in network marketing. There is no other way. It doesn't matter. We can go to all the events that we want. We can listen to all the calls that we want. We can listen to all the great speakers. We can read all the right books. Listen to all the right CDs, DVDs, all the right trainers. We can do all of that. But unless we actually put into action the training, the disciplines, we actually do things. Unless we do that, nothing will happen. That I can absolutely guarantee you. I can promise you that. And so, as I've often said, action supersedes everything. The action of actually doing it, actually supersedes the training. It actually does. Because when you think about it, there's plenty of people that are well trained. We got all kinds of scientists, we got all kinds of professors, we got all kinds of teachers. But in the end, the ones that do it are the ones that win. So doing it is the most important thing. Well, what are we doing? Well, we're introducing new people, teaching them to introduce others. Now, while we are in fact doing it, yes, training, development, these types of calls make the difference in how efficient we are and how effective we are in doing it. Right? So they go hand in hand. You can't do one or the other. Right? But if you had a choice to do one or the other, learning, I'm going to do all learning, or I'm going to do all doing, I can tell you that all doing is better than all learning. Because if we're only learning with no action, then nothing happens. Right? We just become a professor. We have all the theory, but we don't have the action. You've often heard it said that I've learned through the School of Hard Knocks. You can go to university, you can get your MBA, you can get your BA, you can get your PhD in whatever, but that does not lead to success unless you actually have practical experience in doing it in life. And that's why we see a lot of high school dropouts or people who got into business don't really have the education, and in the end, those people became successful just because they got out there into the working world and built a company and built success and so forth and so on. And then they go and hire the PhDs and the MBAs to run their company. And the controller, the accountant, the operations person, and so forth run the company for the uneducated, for the formally uneducated, but not necessarily uneducated. So back to the main thing, sponsoring enrolling new people is the master skill to be learned in network marketing, period. That's it. There's nothing else. Right? Memorizing books, being a great speaker, memorizing quotes, being on stage, projecting, sounding real good, none of that makes us any money. Doesn't do anything. Just looks good. The key is in the doing, is in the mastering of this one single skill set. Sponsoring people, recruiting, becoming a master recruiter. Because obviously once we master the skill of sponsoring a new person, we can then become pretty proficient at teaching others how to do the same. We can show others how to do that. And so, you know, from a personal standpoint, I will tell you this. I'm now moving into my 25th year in network marketing. I wasted at least 14 of those 25 years. When I say wasted, I could be considerably farther ahead. But I guess part of my success was built on lots and lots of my own challenges along the way, which I've had to work on, and I still work on to this very day. In the process of that, what I'm saying to you is, you don't have to take 20 years, 25 years. You can do it in 5. Do it in 2. You can do it real quick. And it is all dependent on our willingness to just go out and just do what needs to be done and get focused on those things. What are those things? Get right back into the mode of learning how to sponsor. Right? What that means is, if you're going to go on the top in any network marketing company, it doesn't matter what anybody tells you. I don't care what the product is, what the compensation plan is. It doesn't matter. History will show you. Anybody that's achieved $100,000 to $200,000 a year or better, or multiples of that, 300,000, 400,000, 500,000 a year, or, for that matter, millions, has mastered the ability to sponsor people at will. In other words, they can go and recruit or sponsor anytime they choose to. I want to go sponsor someone today, I'll walk outside today, and before I come home today, I guarantee you there's going to be somebody on an application with an order. 100%. They can sponsor at will anytime they choose to. Anytime on any day that they choose to. It's not, well, I've got some people in the works, I have some people in the funnel. No, it's not that. It's, I'm going to go sponsor someone today. And they go out and talk to 3, 4, 5 people. By the end of the day, they've already got somebody in the system. If not at the end of the day, the next day, the person's getting their credit card or their funds together. Okay, so you can get that good. You can become that good. How do you become that good? What do? How do we do it? Very simple. It's actually very simple. I'm about to give you the secret to our whole business. How simple it is. Right? It's just do things and do them consistently. Because if we do anything consistently, if we do anything over and over again, we're just going to get good at it. We're going to get better at it. I have never known anybody in all of my career, in the hundreds of thousands of people, I've had probably, I guess in the 7 companies that I've built over 24 years, I've had over 1 million people in my downlines. Over 1 million. And there's 200,000 alone in ZJEX. There's well over 350,000 that have come and gone between the removal and purging of people in ZJEX. That's just in one company. 350,000. Right? Since, because people get removed from the computer when they don't place an order. And out of all those people, in all these years, I have never known anybody not to get better at something when they keep doing it. Never. I've never seen someone become worse at a skill really seen people get better. So obviously, if we're doing it and doing the new things and we're plugged in, we just get better at it. We get better at explaining it. We get better at articulating it. We get better at putting it on a whiteboard. We get better at putting it on a napkin. We get better at showing another person the basic concept of leverage, of how when I sponsor you, Hazel, and I teach you what to do, I show you, I work with you, I help you, and you go get 3 people, and I teach you how to work with those people, how to help them make their list, how to plug their people in, how to expose their people, and they go and sponsor a couple of people each, and those 3 become 8 people, 9 people, 12 people, and then we go to work with those people, and we work with those new people that came on board, those 8, 9, 10, 12 people, and they bring in a couple of people, all of a sudden we have 20 people on the next level, and all of a sudden your business is starting to duplicate. Right? Anybody that is doing that on a regular basis is just going to get good at it. You're going to get so good you'll be able to explain that to anybody. And when you can explain it in a way that people can see it, because our explanation is so clear, it's so concise, it's so precise, that a person can actually picture that success because of your ability to paint the picture, to tell the story. And people join you. When people understand, people engage. When people can see, people do. They get involved. Everybody wants what we have. Everybody wants success. Everybody wants residual income. Everybody wants time freedom. Everybody wants to send their kids to the best schools, to have the best education. Everybody wants to live in a nice home. Everybody wants to go on a 5-star vacation every so often. Everybody wants to drive a half-decent car, if not a luxury car. Why not? We deserve to. Why shouldn't we? Everybody wants to have nice clothes, nice things. Everybody wants to be able to help other people that contribute. Everybody wants that. Everybody wants it. So if we know that they all want it, then the only difference is, are we able to show it? Can we articulate it? And so I guess what I'm saying is we're coming close to the bottom of the hour here, is really get your head around this whole process of sponsoring new people, recruit, get your head around it, get yourself into action. If you're already in action, turn up the heat. Take it to another level. Do more presentations, organize more events, build more events, work with other people to build events so that they can build more events, so that we can have more people, so that we can have more activity, and we can advance our business. Dr. Fisher was here at my house last night, along with some people from this new group that I'm working with. And Fisher, he was a real difficult recruit. You know, he won't mind me telling this story because this is his story, right? I've known Howard for 30 years. I knew him when I had just finished high school and I was playing hockey, and I went to him as a chiropractor, and he was one of the people from my community, and went over to him, and we reconnected years later, and it turns out that, he got kind of out of chiropractic and got more into lecturing and more into writing books on health, nutrition, and anti-aging. He's written 16 books, kind of like the Moringa Magic Myth or Miracle book, and that's what he got into. That's what he was doing. Turns out a lot of the books that he wrote, a lot of the lecturing that he was doing, were for a variety of network marketing companies, for distributors in particular. So a distributor would kind of get a hold of him to come and do a talk, and he would do the talk, and that's what he got into. That's what he was doing. And then he wrote some books, and he made some money, and everybody tried to recruit him to get him to be a distributor. Everybody was trying to make him a distributor, and occasionally he'd sign up, but nothing would happen. He just couldn't get his head around being a distributor in network marketing. This is for decades. I'm not talking about for a couple of years. I'm talking about for decades. Right? Decades. The whole time I've been in the industry. And so he never actually did anything in network marketing. Right? Didn't even bring a customer. With all the lecturing that he did, you would think one would have a really big database. The one would know a lot of people. Right? Well, he probably did know a lot of people, but I guess he didn't think he did, or he didn't want to approach those people for network marketing, even though they were in network marketing. And so, nothing happened. And he never got involved, and never once, not one time did he ever build a downline. In any way, he just didn't do it. Well, then a couple of years ago, I gave Howard a call. He's usually on my list. I always put him on my list. And he came over to the house, and he said, look, I'm not going to do this. You know I'm not, that was the opening conversation. I'm not a networker. It's not for me. I'm not going to do it. I said, okay, I didn't bring you here for that. I brought him here to write the book, the Moringa book. I said, okay, we'll just, let's just write a book. If there's a big organization, I think they would benefit from a book. So we wrote the book, and just before he left the house, he said, I got this one lady that, she's really struggling. She's a hard worker. She's really a great person. Her health isn't great. Maybe you could give her a call and give her some product and just show her what you could do to help her out in Egypt. That was the conversation. I said, all right, I'll do that. I made the call, and that was to Maria Rudnick. Maria came on board. One thing led to another. Howard decided, okay, I'll sign up, and I'll just be her sponsor, but I'm not doing anything. And that's how things got started. Howard's sponsored by my daughter, so my daughter signed Howard up, Ashley, and that's kind of how it went. But one thing led to another. The first year in Egypt, Howard spent most of his time, of course, promoting his book, and he actually traveled around in a bunch of lectures, in a variety of different groups, all through Florida and the Carolinas, down there, down south in Atlanta. Did a bunch of lectures, but never got, just wasn't into the business. And then, just through being on calls and learning, developing, growing, personal development, that, he started to kind of get this concept of recruitment, of sponsoring. And one thing led to another. Before you know it, he got into sponsoring people and growing. Well, his business now has 6,500 people in it. He became Diamond a couple of weeks ago. He got that big Diamond bonus check at the event in San Diego. He qualified double Diamond last week for his first week at 25,000 in volume in his pay leg. His organization is currently in an exploding mode. It's growing, it's happening. He's probably going to hit triple diamond within the next 90 days, if not higher. He's on his way to black diamond, and you can't get him off teaching the system. He didn't even want to talk about his book anymore. He's not even into the product anymore, and that's all he's ever done his whole life, been into product. He has now become a fully actualized networker. He actually got better at doing the things he said he could never do or would never do. He was really a recruit that you would have said, this guy has no chance of ever being successful because it's just not for him. And he's actually becoming a really good networker. He's worked through some of the people that he's got. He's developed them. He went down through, the people that were quote-unquote inactive, the ones that weren't doing the do things. They found this lady in Norway. That's why I'm going to Norway for the second time. He found this lady, Jackie, in Norway, who emptied the warehouse where they had product run out in Europe because Norway did 4 times more volume than was projected. Right? Howard's doing Skype meetings, he's doing conference calls, he's he's working from home, and he's building a global business, and he is fit to be tied. I mean, he is so focused. He is so enrolled, excited, because it's clear to him now that he is really, it's just an amazing thing to see. It really is. It tells you and I, that anybody who wants to get focused on the do things and really get their head into those things, and don't get distracted by all these other things going on in the company. This one's got this training, that one's got that training, this one's doing that one's doing something else. Stay focused on the main thing and do it well, and you'll be amazed at what can happen for you. And if there's anything you get from this call, know this, that if you're practicing doing the do things, you will get better, you will become a master, you will be able to then teach others, and you will be one of the few people who reach the top. Don't waste any more time. Just do the do things, do them consistently, have the faith that if you do those things, whatever it is that you're looking for, you will achieve. I guarantee it. I promise you that. I'm here to help you every step of the way that I can. If you have not yet downloaded the training series that I put out, The Art of Network Distribution, what are you waiting for? All right, everything I talk about on these calls is on there, 11 hours of it, and then some. Memorize that stuff, copy that stuff, put it in your own words, and then go teach it. You'll be amazed at what will happen to you in your business. We've gone a little bit over. Always wanted to say thank you, everybody, for taking the time to be on these calls. My goal is to do nothing but help you have success. Not because I'm so much of a nice guy, but because my success is absolutely dependent on your success. I can't go to the next level unless you go to the next level. And so my goal, my focus is to make sure that you do in any way that I can, any way that I can assist you in advancing. We have the MIT call tonight, the Millionaires in Training call tonight. Let's build for that call. Now, building for that call doesn't mean getting on that call alone. There's no point in being on the call alone without a guest. I mean, I guess we can always learn something. We can always pick something up, hear it repeated. That's okay. It's not a bad thing. Okay? But it's a lot better if we've got a couple of guests on the line. At least we're then getting a little bit more value on that call. Okay? So invite a couple of people, bring a couple of guests, bring them on the call. I guarantee you there'll be a good chance they'll join your business at the end of the call. Right? And let's grow from there. The call is at 9:25 tonight. Promote it, put it on Facebook, send out a text, send out an email. Right? Tell your people to invite people, have them bring guests. Let's load up the call tonight. Let's make it a big call tonight. Last week we had Dee Dee Shaw on the line. This week, who knows? We might have some other surprises. But there's lots of great things happening. And with that, everybody, wish you, again, a great week. Cycle 4, period 71. Let's close off this week with a good, strong week. Thanks for joining us on the Go Diamond Focus call. Have a great day, everybody. The lines are open. Michael signing off.